Isaac, where are you going?
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Dead Space 2, Zealot difficulty, no damage, no stasis. Helldive, as I'm calling it. The restrictions will be in the description, if you're interested in all of them. It's going to be a very aggressive project, where we go through the sprawl as Isaac, and we go on our objective here to decimate and destroy everything in our path to get to our target. It will be murder, death, kill. It will be fast, it will be frenetic, it will be as effective as I can be. And a lot of you were probably wanting me to cover Dead Space Remake, but they made the combat in that game very low skill ceiling, very brain dead. So instead, we're doing something that has a very high skill ceiling, which is the majestic Dead Space 2. Arguably the apex of the franchise when it comes to combat. An absolutely phenomenal game. I love it in every conceivable way, and coming back to it with better technology and different restrictions is always really fun. But the ethos of this run, guys, will be I will be trying to use as much telekinesis as I can. I will be trying to be as quick and as efficient as I can, killing ferociously, taking down enemies in situations that you might not have seen before, trying to do some different things than I did on my last project of this game, because I've actually covered this game twice on YouTube. So there's going to be an emphasis on shooting, there's going to be an emphasis on telekinesis, there's going to be an emphasis on getting creative with the environment, hopefully to mitigate some of the restrictions, because we will not be accessing the shop to buy anything. It's all off limits to us. We will only be using the plasma cutter because you can't find any other weapons in this particular game. And we will additionally not be using stasis. The big one here is no stasis. My previous run used it, and of course I'm going to use it here because this is a mandatory use of this. If you don't do this, this necromorph is essentially Satan, and he will destroy you. A very dangerous monster, that one. I don't like him at all. He just doesn't follow the rules of the game. And then we come up against our first puker encounter, which is another enemy I don't really like because he doesn't follow the rules of the game. If you're ever going to get into a situation where stupid things happen, it's going to involve this enemy exclusively. Because the only enemy that even gets remotely fiddly like this dude does is some of the more physics-based monsters, like the creatures that clamber on you, or maybe something like a stalker being a bit errant, or sometimes pregnants doing odd things. And of course, we don't speak about leapers. But here is the first boss of the first chapter. It is the tripod. This is a sequence that you might struggle with if you're doing no stasis, if you're not used to being able to shoot these thin limbs, these spindly arms of the creature. But if you give him a wide berth, you can generally get around him, and this is one of the only real boss fights in this game, because everything after this is kind of gimmicky, and when we get to the brutes, I'm going to show you some things that are going to completely trivialize all threat that they've ever really paid to you in every sequence that you encounter them. And I killed them in 3 different ways, which will hopefully give you something to think about, and something to enjoy. These videos are going to be quite short, guys, until we get to a slightly lengthier one, which is one of the bigger levels, but it's just going to be action-packed, you know, wall-to-wall violence. Do not go up to the tripod until he's finished his little thing, and pick up his gear with the telekinesis mod, because if you don't, he does like a little death rattle where he'll attack you. And I don't know if it does damage, but Isaac definitely whimpers, so you want to avoid that if you can. And then that's pretty much going to be the denouement of the first part of this project, guys. Welcome to Helldiver.